often. We've never got it.
Exactly. We've never gotten a chance to work together before this.
We were here in this city so that we could earn some money just by doing few roles here and there and manage our life. And suddenly Satya happened, and things changed not only for us and for so many people associated with the film, but also for the entire film industry.
So I remember when I was writing the script also, I would think, you know, it's okay, I can write whatever I want because nobody's going to give me money anyway.
Then when it released, for 5 days there was no audience, just 10 people, 20 people in random shows, and it was declared flop by the trade. And the coming weekend, the queues were there.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Amazing.
And you're obsessed with mutton. Did he feed you mutton on the
Oh,
set?
yes. Several times. Thank God. He yakni pulao and mutton. And he would often cook on the turnaround days.
And I'm a Bihari. So Biharis usually, you know, they love meat bhat. Meat bhat is a meal that people can travel 50 kilometers just to have it at your place if you offer it to them. And that's the place I come from.
That's true.
We kind of get into the morality of it.
Yeah.
Because these are real life happenings, you know.
Right.
So if we get into the morality of it, it's difficult because, you know, then it's also a little boring for me, frankly. So even for Swati, I was also never seeing whether it's Ishita and Seema in Mirror, where, you know, they are both doing something little wrong. I feel like they are thieves who are stealing pleasure from each other.
It's a great time to be in the movies today because there are two artists sitting with me who I have grown up watching, loving, and I feel that they're getting their due all the more today. They always got their due because they're so good at what they do, but they're getting a lot more love and respect for and adulation for whatever they do. And I watched 2 episodes. I can of course say that I watched 2 episodes of their wicked, bizarre show. I feel it's one of the best. Like, it's so funny, it's crooked, it is wicked. And welcoming Konkona Sharma and Manoj Bajpayee in conversation with me only on Galatta India. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
We don't get this frame so often. We've never got it.
Exactly. We've never gotten a chance to work together before this.
How many, you've been there for 2 decades, more than that.
Yeah.
How did nobody think of casting both of you?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. See,
It took Abhishek Chaubey to do it.
That's true.
and that too, Abhishek, who has worked with her in Omkara.
Yeah?
He was an assistant director there.
And he was a producer of Death in the Gunj.
Right. And then I have done Son Chiriya with him and that short film, Hangama Kyun Hai Barpa. So only he could think of. Since he was quite familiar with both of us and our work very closely.
मैंने जैसे बोला ना सर, आप लोगों को हमेशा बहुत प्यार मिला है. जो भी आप लोगों की मूवीज देखे, there has never been a bad performance, you know. You guys are overtly critical about your work, but we have always loved you for what you bring to the table.
Right.
But do you feel that today, in this age of digital renaissance, where artists and art and actors are being preferred, are being loved, are being respected more for their craft, do you feel it's a great time for you as artists to be in this position?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great time. I feel that it's a great time. And also, I thank God that, you know, I'm still relevant in the time.
Of course,
you know, so I'm still working. Because, you know, just imagine 25 years back, we kind of never had an idea that, you know, we'll be getting this kind of a position in a script, okay, or in a film. We were here in this city so that we could earn some money just by doing few roles here and there and manage our life. And suddenly Satya happened, and things changed not only for us and for so many people associated with the film, but also for the entire film industry. And now we came till this point when suddenly OTT is invented. You know, it changed so many things in USA. We never thought that it will come here and things will change so rapidly, and we've been working, you know.
What do you think, Coco?
I think so, you know, because I was just saying in an interview before this, actually I can't remember the last time I had a theatrical. And I realized this fact only, I think yesterday while doing an interview. Before that, it's not even occurred to me. Can you believe it? Because I feel I've done meaningful roles, I've been able to connect with people, I felt a lot of love. Right. It's like the format has only changed.
But do you feel like when you say that there has not been many theatricals, did you as an artist feel let down by the kind of pressures that box office sets on actors? You're a filmmaker, you've made Death in the Gunj. If I'm not wrong, it was very difficult for you to even make the film and get finance for the film in the first place, despite having established yourself. How did you deal with that then?
No, I didn't actually see it like that. See, there's no point in being in a theatrical for the sake of being in a theatrical. Now you're just doing something which is, ठीक है 5 दिन का काम है लेकिन theatre में है. I don't want to do work like that just for the sake of it, you know. It's just very rewarding when you connect with people. Firstly, it is rewarding to be able to satisfy your own artistic self.
Yeah.
And it is very rewarding when that same thing which has pleased you is connecting with other people.
Right.
And they are able to tell you, you know, you can feel it. When you have done good work, you can feel it, you know.
That's true.
You don't need a review, you don't need numbers, you can make out.
But did it hurt you when you were actually making Death in the Gunj and you were not being able to, like, nobody was really interested in funding it?
You know, the thing is, it didn't hurt me because I anyway knew this is the industry. So I remember when I was writing the script also, I would think, ki, you know, it's okay, I can write whatever I want because nobody's going to give me money anyway. Let me just write whatever I feel like writing. So I was able to khul ke write. Even when I managed to get some funding, I remember, you know, working with my associates saying, you know, let's just do whatever we want to do because nobody's going to come to see it in the theatre. Anyway, only 3 people will come to see it, so let's please ourselves. So I didn't even, actually it did not occur to me to look at it from that lens because I always knew that this is the world, this is the industry, this is life. It's okay.
But you have also faced that when you're talking about Satya. In an interview, Ram Gopal Verma said that it was very difficult for him. Like people, it's a cult film today, but when he was making it or he was planning to make it, nobody actually believed in the project. And you know, it was very difficult to make people believe that he wanted to cast you, who was a newcomer, and then make a film like that.
Yes, it was very difficult for him. I could see it. I could see him struggling every day. But no, that's Ram Gopal Verma is like a steadfast guy.
Yeah.
Once he decides to do something, he used to just accomplish it. And he used to find his ways all the time, thinking of a strategy, of convincing the financier here and there, showing the photographs from the set to every big stars, and you know, spreading the word in his own way. So we could see him struggling, but the conviction that that man had,
Absolutely,
and he was proved right in the end. You know, the entire industry does that. And we have seen it from our own eyes, Coco, that when the film was made and one screening happened, entire industry started asking for screenings, private screenings.
that's true.
And more than 35 private screenings happened just for the industry. It has complete.
It was a craze, I remember.
It was a craze. Just
yes.
before the release, it was a craze. Then when it released, for 5 days there was no audience. Just 10 people, 20 people in random shows, and it was declared flop by the trade. And the coming weekend, the queues were there.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Amazing.
Word of mouth has
What a
worked in
story.
both your favors always, and why not? You know, when I speak to actors like you, because हमारा बचपन बीता है, and I come from Calcutta. In Calcutta, my parents have never stopped me. In fact, my mother always has made me watch high concept-driven, content-driven films, which your mum makes, you know. And I remember that a lot of my childhood and my life and my love for films has been shaped through those Bengali films and Hindi films, and Satya being one of them. And your mom is an icon for a reason. My mother is one of the biggest fans of her art. I just feel that today, when you both are in this space, like when I see the series, I watched a movie like Andhadhun.
Yes.
In the beginning, when Andhadhun released, in the first week, it didn't drive numbers.
Right.
But it went on to become a blockbuster because
Right.
people really connected with it. And that time, sir, digital itna bhi nahi tha.
Right.
People just loved it because the content was so bizarre,
Yeah.
so funny. Here there are murders, but there's a comedy scene happening there. You don't know whether you want to laugh.
It's a delightful film.
It's hilarious.
Right.
It's like deliciously cunning,
Right.
I feel. Do you feel that today these kind of new genres are more being accepted at least, and people are venturing out to try out new things like that?
accepted, welcomed also because, so thanks to OTT, same film, if you release it today in theatre, everything, there's so much.
Dynamics will change,
Dynamics have changed. I don't know for what reason, but it has changed. But thank God there is streaming platforms, so that people can access these kind of films, and they are getting madder and madder in their experimenting
Approach,
in their approach. And Killer Soup is one of them, where Abhishek Chaubey has gone completely bonkers, and the writers, they've gone crazy in terms of experimentation.
But some people have to take risks. Because of some people taking risks, and
Others will also.
Because otherwise if we keep doing what works, and
Right.
I mean, of course producers have to get their money back, and that is very important also. But then I feel like, and all kinds of films should exist. Maybe we should also spend our money responsibly, so we can also sometimes push the envelope so that the art form itself can evolve,
Yeah.
And if some people take risks, other people will take risks, it will benefit everybody.
It starts off beautifully when they're showing the house, and it gives you that, those old world Parisian songs playing, and then suddenly there is a mutton paya being made, and he doesn't want to eat it.
And he's
It's like
burping
drink it, and he's like, and he's
continuously.
burping continuously. I was just imitating you outside, by the way. I want to ask you this, that mutton paya, since we are talking about mutton paya, you love and you're obsessed with mutton. Did he feed you mutton on the
Oh
set?
yes, several times. Thank God. He yakni pulao and mutton, and he would often cook on the turnaround days.
And I'm a Bihari. So Biharis usually, they love meat bhat. Meat bhat is a meal that people can travel 50 kilometers just to have it at your place if if you offer it to them. And that's the place I come from.
That's true.
Okay? And every second Bihari knows how to cook meat bhat. Even my father used to have his own recipe that Shabana, my wife, she took it from him, and I started making it so that I could feed my daughter and give her the same memory that
Yeah,
I have
And
of
we
my
benefited
father.
from it,
I also had it,
You also had
I
it,
landed
where?
on the sets of his web series, one of the other web series that he
Yeah.
was doing in RA Colony. And that day he got it for everybody, and I happened to
wow.
I was just lucky to be there during lunchtime to see him shoot, and he fed me, and he got to, like, we spoke about how, in Bengali household also mutton kosha is
Yes,
like a
Yeah, mutton kosha.
Sunday
Kosha, bangsho
delicacy,
bhat.
and it's like very my father makes it the best.
Yeah.
He makes it with lot of oil, masala,
I love it.
And aloo.
I love it.
Full aloo.
Aloo, so I went to attend Kolkata International Film Festival.
Yeah.
So before I could land there, I have already sent all the items which need to be served in my room.
Wow, prep has been done.
Yes, and it should be home cooked, not ordered from
That's
Nizam.
Very good, my God, amazing.
Coco, before I go, I have to speak about your short.
Yes.
I watched it with my mother, and my mother, of course, loves you, loves your mom. And when I told her that it's been directed by you, she was so happy, because I feel that short was so nicely, the concept of voyeurism, the way you have portrayed it with so much of sensitivity. There are so many nuances in that entire 30 minutes that you feel connected. That whole line between right and wrong, the social norms, you've always challenged that in your life, in your career. How do you manage to do that?
I feel that applies to everything, in a sense, like even to Swati Shetty. If we kind of get into the morality of it,
Yeah.
because these are not real life happenings,
Right.
So if we get into the morality of it, it's difficult, because then it's also a little boring for me, frankly. So even for Swati, I was also never seeing whether it's Ishita and Seema in Mirror, where they are both doing something little wrong. I feel like they are thieves who are stealing pleasure from each other. And even in here, in Swati Shetty's case, again I would say, she has a greater goal. She has a larger cause, which is her restaurant and her own ambitions, her own aspirations, whatever they may be. And anything can be sacrificed at that altar. And she's on the go, she's on the she's always problem solving, fighting fires, figuring things out, very capable, very calculating, you know, and I feel like even the family she's married into, the Shetties, you know, they must be up to so much wrongdoing, huh? These two Shetty brothers. यहाँ पे fraud, वहाँ पे womanizing, पता नहीं क्या क्या कर रहे हैं ये लोग. But स्वाति क्या कर रही है इसमें मतलब बहुत चर्चा हो रही है.
That's true. But sir, I want to ask you this also. Like she said that morality is something that you can't really question with art, right?
Right.
But some actors, especially you and many others, you know, they are so good with their craft. When they play a character like this, like I've grown up for a really long time, I used to get very terrified of Amrish Puri because I was a Shah Rukh Khan fan and all he used to do is beat up Shah Rukh Khan in every other film. So as a child, I used to believe that this is the person, he's like this as a person. But as I grew up, I understood the difference between being an actor and being a person. But sometimes acting takes over because people are so good at their job when they play a villain. Like you have negative traits in the in the show. Sometimes people tend to believe that you are like this as a person.
Right.
And they judge the person and not the actor. Does that become like a dichotomous situation in life sometimes?
See, this used to happen earlier. Now it more or less it doesn't because now after so many years people know you, people know that people know me for what I do. So, but if the audience is judging the person, judging the character or mistaking the character as a person, so it's their doing. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what.
Yeah, so I'm only doing my job.
Yeah.
And I have to do it to the best of my ability, okay? So after that, how they...
It's not your fault,
It's not normal.
What can we do if he's so good at his job?
Exactly.
But I must tell you that I try to put in the human side always. When I'm doing even a bad one, I know, but because I don't want them to look like an alien guy, you know. Because he's a human being.
Absolutely.
And there is this shade of black,
Yeah,
which
black
is far
and
more
white.
prominent than the good that he has. But I try to put here and there, put in few things here and there in his act, few nuances, just to make him look human, little likable. Because if I make a film just on Prabhakar Shetty, then you'll see.
And I'm not watching it. No, I'm joking.
No, but I just feel that more power to both of you because I feel that many aspiring actors today will see your career graph and like you said that many filmmakers will also try attempting something like this after this is loved and it will be loved. I have watched it and I can say that because it's very different and it's bizarre but it's funny and it's a mix of everything. And I hope that more actors also come and think that, you know, there is this kind of a career trajectory that they can also aim for. Nothing else.
How lovely. I
thank
hope
you.
so.
Yeah, thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Hi, this is Manoj Bajpayee,
Hi, this is Konkona,
and you are watching us on
Galatta India.